Hi, I'm Noah Baumbach, and I like to sniff my own farts. Okay, that's not fair. I made that joke because when I saw Marriage Story, one thing that never stopped bothering me was the fact that Adam Driver's character, who extensively plays Baumbach, has everyone walk up to him and call him a genius throughout the film. And in this movie, it's almost like the same thing, where George Clooney plays himself, although he plays a guy who's worked in Hollywood for a long time and has a long-established career, a bit like Baumbach, and everyone tells him how amazing he is in it. Ugh. Yeah, the movie just didn't do it for me. A lot of people are saying it's touching and moving and all that, and I just didn't feel it. One thing I do like about the movie is that it examines what it's really like to work in the entertainment industry, because when you're working on a movie, whether you're an actor or whatever, you're going to be on set for 12 hours at a minimum. You'll most likely be there for 15, 18 hours, and the movie will shoot for months. And then after you're done shooting that movie, where you get no time to see your family, no time for anything, you have to go and promote the film for about 2 months, I'd say, I think. Or a month, I'm not sure. But you're just constantly on a red-eye flight, and you're always pushing your movie. And yeah, you don't get time to have a family life. It's something that is well known in the entertainment industry. There is no room for a personal life. There's only room for yourself. And in this film, you have George Clooney, who plays this guy named Jay Kelly, hence the title of the film, where his biggest regret in life is that he hasn't spent enough time with his daughters. And he spent most of his time just working on his craft and establishing his career. And it's not that dynamic when your protagonist is some rich guy who feels really bad because he didn't get to spend enough time with his kids as he was making millions of dollars. Now, I'm simplifying it, but overall, that's what I got from it. Actually, the best performance of that movie doesn't come from seasoned actor George Clooney, who kind of just plays George Clooney in everything he's in anyways, but rather Adam Sandler, where he plays Ron, Jay's manager. And Ron, you can see in Sandler's eyes, he looks exhausted, defeated, like he just wants to leave this job because it's sucking at his soul. And he's more interesting to watch, but his plot line is similarly dull, where he also has daughters, and they want him to play in a rich people's tennis match. Or at least I assume he's rich in this movie. He could not be, but the movie makes it seem like he is. When the movie gets to... Oh, there is one character who is really interesting, who I wish they made that character like the overall arcing theme of Jay Kelly's self-reflection. Instead of like, oh, I feel bad because I didn't get to spend time with my kids, it's like, well, what about this one guy who used to be my roommate, and I ended up becoming successful, and he ended up becoming a child therapist, which I had to say, big criticism of this movie, and most movies, and of myself included, is that we hold movie stars to such high accolades, and we idealize them and love them, and yet we don't give that same sort of care or attention to doctors or teachers who deserve it more. So the guy who's a child therapist in the movie is probably, in a way, more successful than Jay Kelly, because he's actually helping people's lives. Now, that's not to say entertainers don't do that, but maybe not to the extent that therapists do. Although, well, that's debatable. But yeah, instead of examining why we idolize movie stars so much, or what happens when our own ego takes over and we forget about other people in our lives, that's where the movie just derivates too much. It takes like Billy Cudrup's plot line and literally turns it into a literal punchline. And yeah, big disappointment. The movie's much more about its own ego than it has anything to say about ego. It's in select theaters now. Jay Kelly is in select theaters. They gave it 2 out of 4 Guinnesses. There's probably a lot of people who are going to say, well, you just didn't get it. And here's the thing. I did get it. I just didn't care. And you know what? If you disagree with me, that's fine. But don't be an asshole about it. If you want to read my full written review for the movie, go to ypareviews.com.